There we go. Okay. Here we fucking go. I'm actually dreading this, to be honest with you. Because people take this shit too seriously. Alright? I'm going to admit something right now. It's too loud. Okay, and we're going to do this. There we go. And I'm going to admit something to you right now. If you get anarcho-communism, shut up. It said it was a Marxist centrist. Interesting. Okay, do you agree with that, Butch Bay? Do you agree with that assessment? Sorry, I forgot about the little dudes. Here they are. Here they come. Fuck no? Okay. Well, I'm trying to go for progressive here. I'm trying to answer as a progressive. I'm going to admit that. So here we go. What is this? Oh, English, please. What are the values? Okay, whatever. I'm not going to learn about anything. We're just going to do it. I'm going to try for progressive, see what I get. You're presented with this. Okay, a series of. Let me know if the music's too loud. I actually need to turn it down for myself. Oh, I see. There we go. You know, we're just going to turn it down just a notch. There we go. Okay. Okay, I got it. You will either get anarcho-communist or Maoist. Bet. Fuck off, communist. I am neither. Reforming capitalist society to achieve better rights for workers is desirable. Well... Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Fuck, there it goes. A hardcore communist. There it goes, right there. I'm out the window, dog. Revolution is the best way of achieving a socialist society. So, I don't think it's the best way, because I'm advocating for assimilation of an existing party. Maoist isn't an option. That would be hilarious, though. So, I'm neutral on it. Okay. It said I was a console communist, with the next closest being anarcho-communist at 99.4%. The latter I would agree with more identifies me. Okay, Boris. 72 questions? Oh my god, dude. Fuck off, dude. Commie on question 1. I know, dude. But I do agree with that. We do need to reform capitalism so that workers have better rights. Look at Amazon. Look what's happening with Amazon. They're motherfucking, you know, timing your piss breaks. You know, they're treating first world workers like third world workers. And, you know, everyone used to be okay with that, but now that the shit's coming home, oh, now they got a problem with it. It's actually not that bad. We're gonna get through it, boys. Let's fucking stop jabberjawing. Let's do it. The negative consequences of a revolution generally outweigh the advantages. I agree. You know, I've seen a lot of revolutions go awry. You know, this idealist idea that you're gonna, especially recently, I've seen a lot of, you know, either fake or even, you know, organic ones that have been, you know, taken over by demagogues, and then they, once they're installed, they're no good. So it's a double-edged sword with revolution. Liberal democracy is a viable way of achieving a socialist society. Wonder what they mean by liberal democracy. What does that mean? Liberal democracy, also referred to as Western democracy, is a political ideology or a form of government in which representative democracy operates under the principles of classical liberalism. Okay, make sure you donate to Wikipedia so they can stop doing this fucking shit. Please, everyone. Classical liberalism is a political ideology or a branch of liberalism that advocates for civil liberties under the rule of law, okay, with an emphasis of economic freedom. Yep, okay, I agree with all that. That's what I agree with. Strongly agree. But next closest after centrist Marxist was democratic socialist, which I agree. I see. Okay. Yep. They usually end in famine and death. I don't know about usually famine and death, but sometimes they do. If you answer 3 C's in a row, you probably fucked up. Wikipedia could go bankrupt. Fuck you, gobbiness. You would care about it. Okay? You don't know how precious something is until it's gone, especially an information repository like Wikipedia. Anyway, a socialist revolution is made inevitable by the conditions of capitalism. Only if it's unregulated. So only if it's unregulated is that the case. So I disagree that capitalism inherently will create a socialist revolution. I disagree with that. And I'm sure all you fucking Marxists over here with your big fat books and your big fat brains are going to tell me otherwise. I don't need no college educated goddamn liberal tell me how to think. God damn it. I'm sorry. Workplace democracy within capitalism is an acceptable alternative to a complete socialization of the economy. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Co-ops and other things, I like it. Revolutionary violence is acceptable as long as the final outcome is positive. Yes, I actually strongly agree with this, though. But it always does lead to revolution. If unregulated. You got it, gobbiness. Thank you. You got it, buddy. We shall do that. Speed this up a bit for you, buddy. Here, we're gonna do some trapping in quarantine. Wow. We're really speeding it up, aren't we? Here we go. Let's do trapping in Japan. There we go. Just getting the volume here. Hell yes, violence is effective. Well, no, I mean, here's the thing, is that they're going to bring violence to you. You know? Is that they're... It doesn't matter whether violence works or doesn't work. They are going to bring violence to you. You know? If you bring them revolution, they will bring violence to you. Okay? So if you do agree, I'm going to click agree. Redistributing wealth away from the wealthy through taxes is a viable way of defeating inequality. Now, I strongly agree with this. Modern social democracy is a betrayal of left-wing values. Strongly disagree. Oppressed peoples have the right to engage in a violent uprising when all other options have been exhausted. Well, I don't want socialism, David. I want a heavily regulated capitalist system, and I want those regulations to be socialist in nature. But I don't. So far, I haven't seen, you know, communistic, socialistic, you know, full-on socialism. I haven't seen a good argument for it. Oppressed peoples have the right to engage in a violent uprising when all other options have been exhausted. I strongly agree. I'm afraid violence is human nature. It occurs in everything naturally. True, but nowhere else in nature have organic beings on Earth been able to understand the nature of being, to understand the nature of existence, to understand the nature of violence, and therefore overcome, using willpower to overcome our nature. This gift we've been given to go against our inherent wants and desires for the embetterment of our society is something that we can't throw into the trash. Okay? Can't just throw it away. Don't speak thugonomics. Yo, dog. Wait, is that racist? Y'all, come on, man. I was raised on fucking rap music in the middle of the fucking woods. Okay? It was my culture too, man. Somewhat. We weren't bumping Eminem. A little bit. A little bit of Bloodhound Gang. But you know who else we were bumping out there? E-fucking-40, man. Captain Save-A-Ho. Captain Save-A-Ho, anyone? Thank you very much. Anytime someone says something about human nature, I tune out. Well, every time someone says something ignorant, like I tune out in a conversation when you say something I don't agree with, I tune the fuck out. The means of production, such as factories and farms, must be publicly owned. Not must. You're gonna get tuned up if you keep talking that way. Come get some, bitch. I'm bowdy bout it, bitch. Fuck with me. I dare you. Oh, if you pull it out, you best use it, motherfucker. Because I'm coming right at you. Right at you. I'll roll up like the motherfucking doughboy, dude. And I'm handing out cookies all day, bitch. Material conditions and needs are the dominant drive behind socioeconomic changes. Material conditions and needs are the dominant drive behind socioeconomic changes. I strongly agree. I don't know. Society seems to be the mistake. We compromise nature for it. We can hybridize. We can work with nature. We can understand what nature is telling us and where its limitations are. You know, where our limitations need to be. Ted Kaczynski spotted. Oh, now I'm the crazy one, huh? I thought you were motherfucking Looney Tunes. What happened, homie? Oh, now I'm the crazy one. Okay. You are such a Marxist. I can't believe it. No, I know that's a communistic question, but I do agree. The material shit happening around you affects the socioeconomic status. Such a. I knew that was a commie question though. Yeah, let me just a little bit. There we go. 3%. I was referring to the Periscope pleb. Okay. We should go back. Periscope people are not plebs, David. I hate your racism towards Periscope people. It's so bizarre. Should go back to violent nomadic tribes. Let's stuff the toothpaste back in the tube. I totally disagree, John. That's basically a eugenics point of view, John. I totally disagree with that. Socialism can only be fully achieved in developed, industrialized societies. Socialism can only be fully achieved in developed, industrialized societies. Boy, that's an interesting one, isn't it? What does that mean? Socialism fully achieved. What's... You back from your cry sesh, Gucci gang? Back for more. Nice. I guess I'm neutral on this one. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs is a good principle. So yeah, this is the big commie question. So I actually disagree with this one because I like excess. I love excess. I love having piles of things. I love possessions. Is it possible, you know, and I'm okay with people having more than other people as long as everyone has enough to, you know, find their happiness. Some people don't need a lot to be happy. Other people need more. There were art collectors in Star Trek. I consider myself to be an art collector of the modern era. I'm a video game collector. Right? I don't hang my video games on the wall. I guess I do actually. But you know what I mean? I do. I consider myself an art collector, as pompous as that sounds. I do. I like having a lot of art. I like having a lot of art. I want more. You'd see more and more of it if I could. I don't want somebody telling me you have too much art, too much. You got to give us some art. You got to make it equal. For other people don't have as much art as you. I hate that. No one's gonna stop you hoarding addiction under a socialist regime. I don't believe it. Tell that to the you know, my wife's Chinese family who escaped communist China when all their possessions were stolen from them. It means that you get what you work for. And yeah, no, I want more. I want excess, Gobinist. I want more than Tetris, guys. Try for it, bitch. My toothpaste. Your wife's parents were landlords? No, they were not. They are now, though. They own a mini mall. They own a mini mall. So they get their rent paid by Carl's Jr. and some other places. Is it possible to peacefully convince the ruling class to conform to a socialist society? No, right? No, it's good to have some revenue coming in. I'm proud of them. He came here dirt poor as an immigrant. Is it possible to peacefully convince the ruling class to conform to a socialist society? Yes. Yes, it is. Capitalism will include its own demise through contradictions that result in crisis. What did Mao take then? I don't know. Why don't you ask them, Gobiness? This isn't fucking story time. This isn't IRL story time, buddy. You get little snippets and bits and pieces. Jesus Christ. Buy the book. Capitalism will induce its own demise through contradictions that result in crisis. Yeah. No, I agree with this. Unregulated capitalism does this. Class conflict is a force that has influenced much of human history. I agree with that. Yeah. The establishment of socialism is a gradual process rather than an instant one. So I agree with that. I know you fucking Zoomers who think you're gonna have what you want by the time you get to be my age. Think otherwise, but you're wrong. No, we can't convince the boomers, but they will die soon. No, I agree. Boomers are too far gone. A lot of Gen X is also too far gone. It really should be a focus on what the millennials and the Zoomers. I got what I wanted. Yeah. Society is chiefly driven by individuals and ideas. I don't know how to disagree with that. Individuals and ideas drive history. Straight up child's take on history. Well, this is not exactly a pure science there, David. Total economic and societal equality is realistically possible to achieve. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. That would be utopian, wouldn't it? I feel, because even in a society that respects freedom, there has to be there's enough freedom to kill somebody in that. So you don't have total freedom from death. You know what I mean? And pain. You know, if that's the idea of like heaven, right? It's like, oh, heaven's so great. It's all this, it's all that. Yeah, but wait a minute. What if my heaven is making other people miserable? You know, what if my heaven was working at the DMV and working really slow and seeing how miserable people were? I actually really enjoyed that. Well, you can't do that. That's not heaven. That's not heaven for somebody else. Yeah, but it's heaven for me. This test is a bread tube based test, I feel like. It's asking if you think ideas are more important than material conditions. Perfect is not possible. Yeah, I'm going to have to click disagree. I don't think perfect is possible. There goes utopia right out the fucking window. An economy is generally designed better when it's organized bottom up rather than top down. I disagree. Local planners, I believe in hierarchy systems. Local planners, rather than national planners, are more efficient at running a planned economy. Well, no, I mean, I think it needs to be right down the middle, 50-50, because if the people on the ground aren't communicating with the people at the top of the hierarchy, and if the hierarchy isn't listening, but the local planners will also need national coordination. No, I'm going to be neutral on this one because I think we need to have a hybridized system in this case where there's communication from, locally on up and vice versa. And I actually disagree, Gucci Gang. Anarchists have absolutely achieved things in history. Hell, man, the assassinations alone you guys have fucking committed. Well, you're not an anarchist, but I mean, anarchism in general, anarchists started some crazy shit back in the day. Assassinations are absolutely achievements if they create change, which in some cases they absolutely did. A centrally planned economy based around computers is a concept worth investigating. I agree, actually, with that. That might be, if you think about it, like, it might be a really good neutral arbiter, but then again, it better be neutral. Who's programming it? Who's maintaining it? Who's updating it? Who's keeping it, who's keeping it transparent? Anything can be manipulated. Yeah, I don't know what Gucci Gang's talking about. Guys, remember, Gucci Gang supports North Korea, guys. So, opinions, trash can. Okay? In underdeveloped societies, a central planned economy is the best way to make rapid progress. Yeah, I mean, it can, but usually at the sake of like... neutral on this one. Neutral on this one. Because the technocrats like to come in and do that shit, and they fucking fuck everything up with austerity. I'll be system administrator. Anarchists are such pussies. They couldn't even BTFO France over Spain. Most anarchists are pathetic, mostly in the West. Yeah, right, Gucci Gang. Sure, buddy. Unlike North Korea, strong and starving. The principles of workplace democracy are self-management and desirable. Oh wait, the principles of workplace democracy and self-management are desirable. I strongly agree with that. The state can be best defined as a monopoly on violence and oppression. Yeah, I disagree with that. I don't believe the state should be defined like that. A highly centralized planned economy is not socialism, but rather state capitalism. God, David, he's got you doing it too, huh? Okay. A highly centralized planned economy is not socialism, but rather state capitalism. Ooh, that's interesting. Wow, that must be really frustrating to talk to people who are arguing this, because they're basically arguing for, like, I guess John was arguing earlier, for like back to like a feudal society. State capitalism. I don't know. I need to read more Marx. I'm going to be neutral on this one. Bureaucracy and inefficiency are always inherent in centrally planned economies. I disagree with that. I feel like we could figure out good ways to do things. Is it necessary to establish a dictatorship? No. The government should be capable of assigning individuals to workplaces. Yes. I agree. Well, private workplaces? No. The government should be able to, you know, have like a works program though, and I'm gonna go disagree because I think what they're talking about is literally a government can come in and to like tell AT&T you're hiring Steve over here. I don't agree with. A world socialist republic is a realistic and desirable goal. I like that. Yeah, socialistic republic. Yeah, I agree with that. Nationalism and patriotism are impulses that are unacceptable in a socialist society. See, I disagree with that. I believe they're totally natural and that's fine. Are they the most important things in the world? Do we need to go to war over them? No. The globalist socialist movement should be led by a single party or organization. A world socialistic republic makes no sense. Why is that, Gabbiness? I don't know, David. You're slinging shit like a gorilla at the zoo. The global socialist movement should be led by a single party or organization. Yeah, I disagree. Foreign officials have no right to dictate policy in another country. I agree with that. Well, no, I don't agree with that, do I? I think it needs to be a hybridized system. Countries should be able to keep autonomy around certain things. Stop being a globalist. You just agreed to one world government? Well, I believe in an Earth government because we need to represent ourselves galactically. But I believe the Earth government should be a coalition and not just a dictatorship. You know, a coalition of all the countries, you know, like a crazy super UN. Where countries get to keep their autonomy, of course, but everyone's working together for the betterment of mankind and the expansion of the human race across space. Free Planets Alliance, a federation, right? I see. I'm gonna be neutral on this one because the question isn't framed in a way that I think is adequate to my argument. Open borders between like-minded socialist countries is desirable. Yeah, I strongly agree. Any socialist country should be dedicated to exporting their ideology abroad. You are alien phobic. Represent galactically? To whom? Well, that's the question, isn't it? I'd rather not be caught with my pants down, buddy. John. And I'm not alien phobic. Okay? I'm actually an alien file. Okay? Because I just want humanity to dip its ink in some alien... Dip its pen in some alien ink, y'all. Yeah, I want Earth to be represented galactically, y'all. There's green alien chicks out there that desperately want the human D. They just don't know it yet. We're gonna save the whole galaxy with our dicks, guys. One jerk at a time. One jerk at a time. Any socialist country should be dedicated to exporting their ideology abroad. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, not dedicated. Yeah, that's expansionist. Fuck the galaxy. David, that's the slogan. Literally. That's the joke. I'm neutral on that, yeah. I don't know, dedicated to exporting. I disagree with that. Okay, people of similar cultures should unite in federations or confederations. I agree in federations. Confederation's not as much, but I do agree in federations. But similar cultures, not similar races. The international proletariat belongs to no country. I believe, yes. What about the people born on Mars? What about the people born on the moon? Aren't they the proletariat? I believe in respecting cultural norms. Yeah, Gobbiness, that's called Twitch. Welcome to Twitch. Is this your first time on Twitch? Hi, welcome to Twitch, buddy. Welcome. You ever heard of these things called memes? Yeah, it's short for what was it? Meme. What is it? Fuck is meme short for? I'm drawing a complete blank, dude. Mimetic. God damn it. Fuck, man. I quit smoking this shit. Anyway, it's short for mimetic. Been around a while. Never read Marx. I only looked at some memes and watched Thought Slime. Is he a Marxist? Thought he's an anarchist. The international proletariat belongs to no country. Sure. If we're going to respect people who demand to respect the lines, we should respect people that don't care about the lines. I personally don't care about the lines. Do I not matter? I looked at Gulag memes. That's really sold it for me. Yeah, me too. National liberation or self-determination for all peoples is a good concept. No, because this is the anarchism thing, right? No, because what about the people that are not capable of self-determination? There are people that are not capable of this. Disagree. I'd be willing to sacrifice economic resources in my home country in order to help other countries. I agree. Socialist political parties should participate in liberal democratic elections. The conquest of bread. Socialist political parties should participate in liberal democratic elections. Yep. Trade unions and workers' councils should form the basis of a socialist society. Trade unions and worker council form the basis of socialist society. I disagree. The leadership of political parties in the progression towards socialism will always lead to authoritarianism. Yeah, you know, and we're going to be watching a clip of Vosh who is like, oh, I've read it now, and saying, oh, you haven't read it, you haven't read it. And the guy that is fucking tearing him down has clearly read way more than he has, and is even pointing out how, like, examples on how Vosh hasn't read that shit. Pretty embarrassing, dude. Just how smug he is. Oh, I'm so right. I'm so right. Wow. Voting Joe is so communist. Fucking dead wrong. Wow, you're wrong. You know, like, whoa, dog, you're so wrong. Like, way, way off, dude. Way off. Okay, let me just get this going here just a little bit. Toot, toot, toot. There we go. We're talking about your mother. The leadership of political parties and the progression towards socialism will always lead to authoritarianism. Progression towards socialism. No, I disagree. Checks and balances. Democratic centralism is an authoritarian organizational structure that disregards the masses. Yeah, Nada. She's a wonderful woman. I hope you've called her today. Next time you see her, give her a big hug. Democratic centralism is an authoritarian... Democratic centralism is an authoritarian organizational structure that disregards the masses. Well, what the fuck is... Okay. Okay. Decision-making practice and disciplinary policy adopted by the Communist Party of Soviet Union. Ah. Subsequently followed by the CCP. Okay. Reported to combine two opposing forms of partisan democracy. Yeah, no, no. Now we good. Wait, yes. Wait, yes. I actually agree with this. Yes. Only a mass workers' party can achieve any meaningful long-term goals. I disagree. Mass spontaneous actions are more effective than carefully planned action. Well, it's trying to figure out if I'm an anarchist. I think it's appropriate that it's asking me questions about anarchism and communism. Mass spontaneous actions are more effective than carefully planned actions. Totally disagree. The fact that so many workers vote for bourgeoisie parties over socialist parties is proof that party politics are no longer relevant. I disagree. Socialist organizations are generally better off when organized loosely. Me too, man. I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm really hoping once COVID's over, I can go see her. She also a Kronstadt Rebellion supporter? Huh? Socialist organizations are generally better off when organized loosely and decentrally. I disagree with that. Trade unionism has been largely corrupted by the class and is no longer a viable structure for socialism. Disagree. Climate change is a major global threat that all socialists must fiercely combat. Major global threat. Strongly agree. Measures to address environmental issues are unacceptable if they result in significant decreases in production and quality of life. Well, this is significant. So, yeah, if they result in significant decreases in... Well, why do you gotta lump production and quality of life together like that? You know? I'm gonna have to do neutral on this one. Because look, if we have to make less, it's a false a little bit, because it just because we have to say we lose production in beef, because we just got to stop with the methane production, right? That's coming out of our private beef cattle farms. That isn't necessarily a quality of life thing. If we have to eat less steak or pay more for steak, it sucks. I'm a neutral on this one. It is foolish to expect renewable energy sources to be able to replace fossil fuels. No, I'd strongly disagree with that. Industrialized farming practices must be abolished, even if it leads to lower outputs. I don't agree with abolished, but I do agree the industrialized farming needs to be heavily regulated and looked at. They're out of control. But we need industrialized farming, but it needs to be heavily regulated. So abolished, I'm going to disagree. If that said regulated, I would agree. It will be important to implement extensive environmental protections as part of achieving socialism. I agree. Experimental, environmentally friendly food sources like cultured meat are worth investing in. I agree. We're already eating GMOs. Sucks. They kind of snuck it on us. But it's science. It's science worth pursuing. I hope I win 5 next time. Here, I'll give you here. We'll give you an opportunity to do that, Gobinist. There we go. Boss battle happening in 2 minutes. There's a boss fight happening in 2 minutes. Personal motor vehicles, such as cars, should be replaced with free public transport. Not should. I disagree. It is acceptable for humanity to suffer to some notable extent in order to preserve the natural ecosystem. Ah ha ha, wow. Yeah, kill everybody. Yeah. Strongly disagree. We can find ways to work together with nature. Jumo, huh? We must radically alter our food consumption in order to limit the exploitation of nature. Not radically, but we do need to alter it. Bring back the horse and buggy. Human population growth must be curbed to prevent an ecological disaster. Well, I don't agree with this, actually, because there's actually a lot of room. There's a lot of space, and I'm talking a lot. A lot of space. Just because everyone's moved to California doesn't mean that there's actually not a lot of fucking space. So I strongly disagree. Some small-scale destruction of nature is acceptable if it notably benefits humanity. Yeah, I agree with this. Humanity must return to the primitive ways of the past to overcome long-term climate issues. Strongly disagree. We must accept that the socialist states of the 20th century failed to seriously address the environmental issues. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, failed. Yeah, they failed. The oppression of LGBTQ plus people is a major issue that needs to be seriously addressed. Well, I agree. Traditional gender roles, such as women being homemakers, need to be overcome. Yeah, sure. Marriage is a patriarchal construct, social construct that should be phased out. No, I disagree. Just say that, just do ABC at this point, guys. I'm sorry to be dismissive, but we're getting a little ridiculous, okay? Just find, it's like, for a group of people that demand inclusiveness and like, everyone needs to like listen to us. You guys sure are fucking picky about this shit. Shouldn't you find a label that's like inclusive of all the colors of the rainbow here? For people that are like, hey, I want to just be normal and part of normal and everyone else. It's like, no, I want to have this very specific label, and the label needs to be very, very specific. The label doesn't represent me specifically. I want my own separate label. I want my letter in there. Can't we find a... I don't know. It seems like it's like LGBTQ plus LGBTQIA plus question mark. Is that what it is now? Little ridiculous, guys. It's just getting a little ridiculous here. Abortion is an immoral act that should be banned or significantly limited. Strongly disagree. Religions overall have a mostly positive effect and should remain influential in society. Disagree. Minority populations should receive special legal protection. Ideally, they wouldn't need them because our society would be equal and take care of everyone equally. But as long as society is unequal, LGBTQQIIAA plus Yeah, no, that one really rolls off the tongue well. And look, I know that it's like, well, I don't care if the moniker rolls off the tongue. I don't give a shit. Not cis white man. Like, okay, that's fair. That's fine. It's fine. You don't care about that. It's just, it's like the target for ridicule. What can I say? It's a little ridiculous. But with that said, you know, of course, you know, transgender rights, queer rights, LGBTQ plus A plus whatever rights are important. Firebolt! Firebolt! Okay. I'm going to be neutral on this one. Because ideally, I don't believe in affirmative action either. I only believe in affirmative action as long as there are strict checks and balances on its implementation, so that it's not a permanent rule that benefits a person of a certain, you know, sect or race or whatever. I've been neutral on this one. A socialist government has no right to disrupt religious or cultural traditions in any situation. Well, I disagree with that. I disagree with the any situation. You know, human sacrifices, child brides. No. So I'm actually strongly disagree. Prisons are oppressive and antiquated institutions that need to be abolished. Wow. Have you never met a person who belongs in prison? That's all it really takes. That's really all it takes. You know, the people that are like abolish prison just need to meet one guy that 100% needs to be in prison. Go ahead and hang around one of those guys. They're usually guys, by the way. Sometimes they're women, though. Hey, you just go ahead and hang around those people. Tell me what you feel about abolishing prison after that. Some people got to have their ear lopped off, I tell you, before they understand. Some real psychopaths out there. What up, Halcyon Zing? That's a sick ass name. I like that name. All right, we're almost done here. Policies that enable mass immigration are naive and should not be implemented. I think I disagree with this. Are naive. What's wrong with mass immigration? You know? A weird one. I guess I'll disagree with that one. This article will make my day. Politician named Adolf Hitler wins election in Nambia. Didn't we? I think we might have talked about this. Gobbiness might have brought this up. Let me take a look here, Halcyon. Adolf Hitler wins election in Nambia. No fucking shit. Let me just make sure this fucking decrepit, ad-filled, cancerous website doesn't show my real name for some reason. Holy shit, the ads. You guys got to see this. Look at this madness. Is there an article in here? What is even happening? I hit the X and it doesn't even go away. It just stays like a blank page over the text. It's just the worst. The daily, this is how people get their news? What, are you using like a ad blocker, Halcyon? This is atrocious. This is positively insulting. Anyway, somewhere in this mess of cancer, Adolf Hitler wins election in Nambia. Wow. Well, I'm a streamer, okay? I believe in monetizing my stream through advertising. It'd be rather hypocritical of me to use one, wouldn't you say? Oh my God. Let me be. I'm gonna have a seizure. Okay, Adolf Hitler wins election in Nambia. Politician named after Nazi leader sweeps to victory but promises, I'm not striving for world domination. Hey, you actually beat one for once. Good job, guys. You got 200. Can humanity learn from one lesson? Is there a single lesson that humanity can learn from? We can't even learn from Hitler? Adolf Hitler Uwana was elected with 85% of the vote. What? Yeah, okay. In the former German colony. Yeah, 85%. That shit was stolen. All right, whatever. It's atrocious. It's stupid. But there it is. Doesn't he change his name? I think that's what he's going for, though, Halcyon. Guy's black. It's even funnier. Yeah, no, it's really hilarious. It'd be more funny if he wasn't in power. Yes, Gobbiness, shut up. You cannot achieve a socialist society without also making significant social progress. I agree with it. All right. I'm very reformist. I'm neutral on the scientific utopian tip. Here, let me remove the chat here real quick. Sorry about this, so you can read it carefully, so you can read it well. I'm neutral. Whoa, dude. Right down the middle, anarchist, communist. I'm neutral, very reformist. Okay, so I'm very reformist, which is totally accurate. I'm too cucky. I'm neutral on all this shit, dude. Oh, dude, I'm neutral. Ah! Boom, dude, yes. Yeah, yes. Thank you for following. That's it. Thank you for following, Halcyon. Whoa, dude, it nailed me. It nailed me. That mixes left-leaning values such as social welfare and corporate regulation with capitalism and liberal democracy. That's me. That's it. Next closest Marxist centrist. Yeah, centrist Marxism. Wow, okay, I should look this up. So centrist Marxism is a form of Marxism that adopts Marxist views on society and the economy while also refraining from taking a definitive position on revolution and reformism. Many centrist Marxists may also be more nationalistic than other Marxists. That is interesting. That does sound like an argument that I would be more okay with. Centrist Marxism is an insult. I agree with liberal democracy. Yeah, I like progressivism, Soc Dem, I guess. I do like liberal, I don't know, you know. This is really interesting. Well, no, we're not though. No, we believe in capitalism, but heavily regulated. This is exactly what I talk about. I want an angel of socialism to chain and ride the beast of capitalism to make our lives better. Damn, dude, this blows my mind though. I'm fucking right down the middle on almost everything. There's got this. I gotta save this result. Hold on. This is too good. I gotta save this result and just ponder these results after a little while. I don't like my scores. Yes, I will link Halcyon. I will link the quiz for you, buddy. Okay, hold on. Let me save this page here. Hold on. Save it as a PDF. I'll give you the quiz in 1 second, Halcyon. Just put this in here. That is just totally awesome. This is really cool. This is really cool. This is basically it. I'm glad that I actually, you know, I don't believe in eco-anarchism at all. I don't. Wow. There's only 17% of me that believes in anarcho-communism. Fucking only 30% of me agrees with the Lemonists. Oh, 65% of me thinks utopian socialism not so bad. I guess this is the Star Trek. Is this Star Trek socialism? Free Marxist socialism that believes in highly egalitarian, moralistic, and idealistic foundation for a socialistic society. General reject violent revolution. Often believe in the ruling class can be convinced to adopt socialism. Oh yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, gobbiness, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know about it. I don't think it's 100% or anything, but it is really interesting to see this stuff quantified, because so much of it is bullshit. So much of it is, oh, I feel this way. You know, you talk to so many people that are like, oh, I'm a Republican, and then you talk to them and they're really kind of more of like a neoliberal, you know? Wow. Okay, hold on. Let me just do a refresh here. Let's see if I can do the test here. Go back. Yeah, here we go. And I'll give you the link here. Here you go, Halcyon. This quiz is for teenagers who don't want to clean their room. This shit sucks. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's 100% accurate, of course. But actually, I found it a very cool exercise, actually, because people confuse terms. They don't know what things mean. And like in that test, I had to look some things up. Yeah, no problem, Halcyon. But I had to look some things up because I'm like, wait, what exactly does that mean? You know, where exactly do I stand on eco-terrorism? You know, do I agree that there's some justification, you know, for killing human beings to stop depopulation, you know, all that kind of shit? I think it's actually kind of interesting to quantify some of these questions, pontificate over them, you know, have a conversation about them. Because I think all too often it's far too like, oh, my definition of progressivism isn't this. Oh, my definition of communism isn't this. It's this. This is how I believe communism is. And then they describe to you and it's like, oh, well, that's not really quite communism, is it? Right? So there's a lot of people that are either disingenuous or just ignorant about their stances on things. Right? And I think something like this is actually a somewhat interesting, at the very least, it's a conversation piece. At the very least, it's a conversation piece. I really enjoyed this. This was cool.